Hi, everyone. Welcome back. It is that time again. And what time is it? It's time for another episode of Everyday Enlightenment. Fantastic questions, as always. I really appreciate it. And please send them to RJ at ascendthefrequencies.com. Just send the questions directly. It's just much easier for me to see them and to manage them. Excuse me. Now, before we get to that, I want to tell everyone about something super important. There is going to be a live course that I'm going to be teaching over 4 months. It's called Self Mastery: What Exists Beyond Enlightenment. This is absolutely revolutionary and groundbreaking. If you are interested in living at your highest potential, if you are interested in true higher consciousness teachings that is rarely ever actually embodied or certainly taught, this is it. This is the course. Okay, I'm not exactly sure when this specific episode of Everyday Enlightenment will be aired, but as of the recording of this, there is still time to register for the course. There is a payment plan available. It's going to be beyond enlightening. It's going to be revolutionary, and on top of that, it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, live courses are fantastic, and plus to be able to receive and participate in the energetic transmission that goes on in courses like this, that alone will simply alter you. Okay, so there's a 1 hour video within the videos on my YouTube channel. It's called Self Mastery: What Exists Beyond Enlightenment. It's a whole 1 hour training and webinar. Take a look at that, register, participate, evolve in the greatest efficacy possible, and have a lot of fun doing it. I look forward to seeing you. Okay, with that, let me bring up this week's question. Give me 1 second here. Okay, let's get to it. Hi, RJ. My main question is, how can we best support those around us who are in difficult health situations to utilize your protocols to get better when it seems there's no hope? Okay, well, hope is useless. Forget hope. It's a drug. Forget it. That's number one. Sorry, I'm answering the question before I even read the full question, but forget hope. Okay. Okay. I'm going to read the whole thing. Some of it is quite specific, but I think it's helpful for me to read the whole thing. The backstory is my mom is really struggling health wise. She had surgery about a month ago for a prolapsed pelvic floor, which turned out to be a bigger surgery than we all anticipated, and then she got a bladder infection for a few weeks after. The surgeon prescribed her an antibiotic, ciprofloxacin, which she then had an allergic reaction to, causing hepatocellular and cholestatic jaundice and hepatitis, meaning, I probably mispronounced one of those words, meaning her kidneys and liver are in distress and toxins have taken over. She spent 3 days in the hospital this week, and they sent her home basically saying there's nothing that they can do, and she'll have to see a liver specialist and gastro doc next week. Meanwhile, she's the lowest mentally I've ever seen her. She's preparing to die. She doesn't think she's going to make it through, and I don't know if she wants to. She's not even recovered from the first surgery, and she's wearing diapers as there is no bladder control. I've been there too. I've been sending her meditations and trying to keep her spirits lifted, and my concern is her mental outlook is just as toxic as the toxic antibiotics. Okay, I've been envisioning her healthy, saying out loud, her body has the capacity to heal, and it does so now. But what else can I do to help her? If someone wants to die, do we just let them? Thank you, RJ, for any advice or guidance, Christine. Christine, great question. I love you, Christine. Christine's fantastic, by the way. Great question. Thank you. Okay. Let me remove this from my screen here. Okay. How do we support someone? What can we do when it seems like there's no recovery or it's beyond hope? First off, as I said, forget hope. Hope is a drug, it's useless. Hope is not empowering. Hope and beliefs are not empowering. We don't want to put our state of being in the hands of someone else. I don't care what people say. about what is possible or what is not possible in terms of me. And you shouldn't either. And I don't care what authority figure they are. I don't care what white coat they wear, what kind of hat they wear, how many letters are after their name. That's meaningless. It's all based upon the past and limited understanding of self. Listen to what I just said very carefully and replay it. Okay? If I would have listened to all of these highly educated, well-meaning, compassionate professionals who sincerely only wanted the best for me, I'd probably be dead. I'd certainly be still paralyzed. And I'd be inundated with drugs and still have all these chronic diseases if I would have listened. Because that's what they told me the possibilities were. Zero. No hope, right, Christine? As we said, no hope? Right. You don't need hope. The self is everything. You don't need hope. It's disempowering. Okay, what can we do for someone who has, quote unquote, given up and who just wants to die? Okay. Well, there's a lot we can do. One thing is that we can be present. We can be there with them. This is called compassion. Okay? Compassion is not caring. Caring is having the vested interest in a specific outcome, which is disempowering. Let me say that again. Caring and compassion are not the same thing. Caring is having a vested interest in a specific outcome, which is disempowering because it takes you out of the present moment. Compassion is the opposite. Compassion is being fully present, all of you here now. And think about it when you're truly suffering, truly hurting. What do you really want? You want someone to just be there with you, to just sit here with me, hold my hand, just be here with me. That's compassion, and it only happens when you're fully present. And compassion is transformative. Caring is not. Okay, it's time for humanity to start to understand metaphysics and employ it properly. Okay. Now, it is up to each individual. Now, I want us to forget about the ego-mind identity for a second, okay? The ego-mind identity is always desperate to stay alive. It'll do anything, pretty much, right? Until there is such a blow to its sense of self that it can't handle it and wants to die. Really think about what I just said, okay? When there's heavy, heavy identification with the body and what the body used to do or could do, and it's no longer capable of that, sometimes that blow is too much for the ego-mind identity and it shuts down. It can't handle it because it sees itself as the body, right? And if the body is heavily traumatized or damaged or going through something, it literally can't handle it. Just can't do it and just wants to escape. Can't handle it anymore. Now, excuse me. The ego-mind identity is not what really makes the decisions here. It certainly seems that way, right? It's the soul, the sentience, the true self, the immortal self that decides whether or not it's done enough in this incarnation. And this will typically happen during sleep, because if you had waking awareness of this, you would be a very different being. But it typically happens during sleep. And this conference, so to speak, happens with your guides and helpers who still have your life plan. And if you and the guides and helpers have decided, you know what, I've experienced enough, I've done enough, I'm going to avail myself of my next possible exit point or termination juncture, and I'm going to leave this body. Now, once that determination has been made, believe it or not, it is your guides and helpers that actually turn off your body. That's how it really works. Our guardian angels work with us, for us, and love us unconditionally. And if we have all agreed that it's time to move on, they will simply assist you in terms of your desire. They work for you, so to speak. Okay. To be able to understand this kind of thing requires a different state of consciousness and complete detachment from the human condition. Now, the soul incarnations are meant to have a beginning and an end. Okay? They must. All of them. All of us are going to die, even though there's no such thing as death. All of us are going to leave our body at some point. We're not the body because it stays right here. Okay. If someone has given up, the best thing that we can do is to be there for them and support them and point out the choices that they have. That's all. and then let them decide what it is that they want to do. It's their life. It's their life. Be there for them. Have compassion for them. Anyone who's in this state and is suffering physically, mentally, emotionally, okay, we have to have compassion for them. It's very difficult. And at some point, all of us may go through things like this. Okay? Just be there for her, Christine. Be there for her. And then let her know that there are other possibilities. Point them out to her. Show her videos of people that have overcome these things. Let her know that there is something else out there besides what she has been programmed to believe. That is the most that you can do. And then the soul will determine what it wants for itself. Forget about hope. It's useless. It's a drug. It's disempowering. There's no power in hope. Okay? There is power in the true self. There is power in the truth. Be there for her. Be compassionate. Understand that she is suffering. And show her what is possible. Show her what is absolutely possible. And that her state of being is not dependent upon what other people are telling her. It's up to her. It's up to her. It's not what the doctor says, or the nurse, or the chiropractor, or the surgeon, or the priest, or the clergy, or I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. Never give someone determination over your state of being. You decide that. You are far too powerful to do that. You are far too unlimited to do that. And if you do want to heal yourself, get my first book. Watch the video. Buy the course. Just be compassionate, Christine. Be compassionate and show her another way. And support her in any decision that she makes. I hope that was helpful. And it's a great question. And I love you, Christine. I'm sure we're going to talk again soon. Everybody, please, great questions. Please send them to me directly, rj@ascendthefrequencies.com. Don't put the question in the comments. It's too hard for me to sift through everything. Just send it as an email. But please comment on these videos and please share them. Humanity needs to understand things in a deeper, more holistic perspective. They need to understand the unlimited nature of the self and that how it can be applied. It's not a theory. It's not woo-woo. Magic with a CK is real. Magic is metaphysics. And it is available to all of us as we open up our own higher mind. It is part of our true nature. Okay, everybody. Wonderful to see you. Thank you again. Keep the questions coming. And until I see you all again, be well.